Stampers, how are you today? This is Jilly Bling, and today's project is a fun fold just because it's a little bit unique, and it is using the stamp set called Blessings of Home. It's a bundle, so if you like the flower, actually there's the two flowers, you don't have to cut them out because there is a die to cut out the flowers. And this is a new embossing folder. Let me show you that. It's really pretty. And let's see, what else? Blessings of Home, Peaceful Moments, mostly for the words. Flowers of Home are the dies for this bundle. And then Meadow, more just for the words. A die for the words. But see all these different little dies? I'm wanting to use those, and I thought, okay, I'll add it to this card and tuck in vellum on either side. And I thought, you know what, I like it just the way it is, but somehow I want to use all these little pieces. Not sure when, but I'm thinking about it. Okay, so let's make this card today. We'll be doing some coloring. Put those off to the side for now. And here are the things we'll need. We'll use this in just a minute, the embossing folder. And I have a trick for getting the pieces lined up. Brush brass butterflies. I love these. We'll put a couple of those on. Some pearls just to embellish. And this is for the words. We could just start with the words. I have embossing powder from this thing all over it. When I made these first two, I forgot to do the embossing buddy, and it just didn't work out so well. So I set that there, but there's a lot of powder. That's a brand new one. So I want to use the words thank you, and I'm going to put those in Versamark. Today we'll use just Versamark and Memento. Just those two stamp pads, that's it. You know, Versamark is funny. If you have a stained stamp, it's like it loosens up the ink on it, and look at that. That's not good. Because I've only used this in Versamark today. And I just let it sit there. It's probably been a half an hour since I used it. Hold on, hold on. We need some cleaner. My little spritz bottle is out. I was trying to find that, but it's empty. So you don't need very much of this at all. That's just the strangest thing. Wow, much better. And it smells good too. Okay. Okay, I think we're set. Let's give that a try. Good thing I tested that. I would have thank you all in my brand new pad. Well, I don't know where my tub of embossing powder is, so we'll use this little container of it. Try to get some of that powder off. That's better. And then I'll use this die. Here it is. Okay, so let's get started building the card. So I have a little template, and I'll take a picture of the template and put it on my blog, and my blog is jillybling.com. So the template is to cut the paper to 5.5 by 8.5, standard size, and then score it at 1.5 and 5.5. So score it right here, and then stretch over to the 5 3/4 I meant, mark, and score it there. So I will do that. Okay, so it's time to fold these pieces in, and if ever you're scoring, just do a soft fold at first, and these, it's really close to overlapping, but say that they overlap, try flipping it the other way, and many times you'll get a different result. Both of these look pretty good, but after you do your soft fold, I'm looking at this top piece and this bottom piece, scoring it, and then doing the same with the other side. And if necessary, like this is starting to overlap, I'm just going to push it this way a little bit, get them lined up, and then use the bone folder to confirm the fold. And that's just fine now. Okay, so we have that. This is for stamping the flower on. Let's do that since that's next in the pile. So here's the stamp. We'll use Memento ink, which is recommended for coloring with the blends. It's a big stamp. I know a lot of you have a hard time holding them, and if that's the case for you, don't give up. Get a Stamparatus, because that will do the heavy work for you. Isn't that beautiful? I love that. Okay, and while we're stamping, let me find the papers for the inside. That's this right here. And this one I just put, oh, I love these words, and I love how they're laid out. So how about if we do those same words and then stamp this stem of flowers. You know, before I do that, I should put the flowers on, because I might have to adjust the placement depending on how tall this flower is. I don't know where I get all these little pieces from. It's not like I was cutting any. Well, I guess I cut the words. Perfect. Okay, I think we're done stamping. Okay, so let's get to assembling this card. So for the embossing folder, I would love to say, hey, put your pieces in and run it through. But if your pieces are at all crooked, like how this one is at an angle, your whole card will look off. So you could take time to kind of get them lined up, but I'd suggest using this line right down here. I don't know if Stampin' Up! Planned that, but I use it all the time. I'm going to flip it over, and using the edge of the embossing folder and that line, pretty sure I'll do good with getting them lined up. So there's that one. And I got it lined up down here, and now I'm looking to make sure that this is, I'm close to equal. And you know what, if it isn't exactly perfect, you don't have to pull out a tape measure to measure it, or a ruler. As long as it's close to being lined up, it will work just fine. Okay, and so I'm going to run this through, and I have little notes on all of my embossing folders. Use 2 clear plates or use a gray plate, just because I could tell by it's thin, but then I know for sure what combination of plates to use. So here's the pieces already textured, and this embossing folder is really pretty. Can you see how pretty that is? Let me get the big one. There, now you could see it. Isn't that pretty? It's like just like 4 little flowers. I love this. Okay, should we do it this way? The other one is the other way. I think I want it that way. Okay, so, and then here is a black layer, and I'll put all the paper cut sizes on my blog. It'll take me just a few days, and then I'll post everything. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. And lately, liquid glue is my go-to, so I'm going to use liquid glue. Not too much of it, just enough, because I'm impatient and I don't want to wait for it to dry. So get that one on there, and if you like, see how this amount equals that, that equals that, and I have not so much in here. Like right there, you could say, you kind of got that a little bit close. But if I have the same amount, it makes a nice gap over here. And you know, in the end, you probably don't even notice the gap. But just a little something to think of. Just so that this gutter equals this gutter, that equals that gutter. Or you can have a big gap in there. That's fine too. Because if you were to get this card, you would just be stunned by how pretty that flower is. Not so much the gutters in the paper. Okay. Well, these gutters are looking pretty good. And let's put the white texture paper on. And there's like only a 1/16 of an inch border, so I could go pretty close to the edge. Okay, that is all done. And we could put the inside in. This one might be a little crooked, but I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, so the black paper, actually both of these could go in because I've already stamped on that. I just have to color this. You know what? Tape runner. Enough of liquid glue. Whoop, ran out. So this card goes together really quick. It's just a little bit different than a standard card, which makes it a bit interesting, but it's not hard at all. So this is a gotta have it box, GHI, gotta have it. And that means if you get this bundle within 2 weeks from today, today's June 4th, I would love to send you these 5 card kits for free. And you could do an online order if you like, if you're not nearby. Or if you're nearby, just give me a call, let me know. And I'll get it ordered for you. Okay, so this I have a die. Look at that. Completely cuts it out, and it's so easy. And I have one cut out and colored right here. The last video I spent a bit of time coloring, so I don't want to take too much of your time and color again. But I'll color the inside. Just wondering if I could do it a little bit different. The only thing is when, like I keep thinking, oh, I should put it more toward the center, like that. I kind of like that layout. But then looking at the back of a paper, the flowers that you colored, like right here, it doesn't look so good. So I think I'll just stick with this layout. Okay, and to do that is, let's get some dimensionals on here. Everywhere where my thumb is not, is where to put dimensionals. And I know, I'm putting a lot, but I need them. Let me see if I, uh-oh, some of them are showing. But you know what, I think maybe I can move it this way a little bit, because this side looks like a 1/4 inch, and that's 3/4 of an inch. Good thing I didn't put that down hard. Okay, let's try again. And I like this one. See here how it's kind of hanging over the thank you? I kind of like that. Okay, so that looks more centered. Let's see if I need to move any of the dimensionals. Yeah, this one. Guess I could have planned that a little better. And this one. Tearing the paper, but I don't know that it matters. That one is good. Okay, no dimensional showing. Then, for the words, kind of want them tucked under here. Right about there is the middle. So, dimensionals from here over. Don't want to make that same mistake. Okay, I'm going to squeeze 3 of them on. That's all that's holding the words on. How about right? Doesn't look all that centered. Do I dare? There, it worked out. Okay, and a little bit of glue to hold this on. I don't think I put glue on the other one. There's glue now. Okay, so hold that down. So this one I did, they're the same except the little detail flower. This one has petal pink, and this one has pool party. And notice the leaves are a little bit different. This one I added evergreen light, and this one is soft succulent only. And little brass butterflies, gotta love those. Okay, so for the inside, it's time to do a little bit of coloring. So I'll start with the evergreen light. I always like to start with the dark. And it kind of outlines the flowers, particularly the big flowers, because those are, there's a hint of crumb cake on them, but otherwise they're just white flowers. So that helps make them stand out a bit. think this is a new marker, which will benefit me in coloring that tiny little stem. Probably a lot of these tiny little things. Yeah, this is a new marker. Look at that. Perfect. Oh, I should have been using this all along. That's nice. So I received a nice comment from Lois on the last video, and she said, it's fine to show a little bit of the coloring. She says, I like watching you color. So because she said that, I didn't have this all done in advance. So thank you, Lois, for your input. Because in the past, somebody said to me, I don't want to watch you color. It takes too long. So then I did no coloring. So I'm thinking a little bit of coloring is okay. Okay, so that's Evergreen Light. Next dark color is, this is a new pen too, I think. Yeah, this is Soft Succulent Dark. And I'm trying to color everything except just a little room for Soft Succulent Light, because I want all three colors to be represented. That one is tiny. So Tony is out in the garage building his second bench. So he has him some barbecues. So much. The outdoor kitchen counter is more an area to hold stuff for when he's doing his barbecuing. And I think there's like 5 of them out there, some ridiculous amount. And but he goes, but I need an open fire, an open flame barbecue. And you know, he does a really good barbecue, and you won't get a complaint out of me. So I was like, oh, okay. So he built a little fire pit, and it has an enclosure. And now he's saying, now I need a bench. What if I get like a log and I cut it into the shape of a bench? And I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, I missed that leaf. And then he was looking up online places that sold these benches, and they're like $350, $400, $500 just for, I'm hearing noises over there, just for this bench. But he found a way to make it, and it's like a frame, and he got that from Amazon. I hear noise over there. I'm telling his story. I think he came in to move the car back in. So he got this frame, and of course it came 2 days later, but then he had to go out and buy the wood for it. So he got the wood, and he's out there making it. I think now he's moving the car back in. So that's kind of exciting. The dog is in. So this is Succulent Light. I'm just finishing off the leaf. And then next I'll color the flowers, and the little flowers will be pink, petal pink. And then the big flower, I'll try doing that. See how the sample one, it looks white, but really that's just crumb cake light, just hints of it for shadows. Okay, so the leaves are done. So here's the petal pink. I'll start with the darker one. Just go around the flower center, which I'll color yellow in just a minute. And I'd like to do a second layer, if possible, of the colors. Okay, then petal pink light to fill it in. And then the crumb cake light for the white flower, I'll hold that up close when I do it. Not that it's that hard, but I really like the effect on it. Hold on, let's do the flower centers in. These are saffron. So it doesn't take much for these little ones. But this one, coloring the whole thing in saffron. Saffron light. Doing it a little bit backwards. Same with this one. And a second layer of saffron light. Maybe I'm doing it different because I don't plan on blending it. And the center kind of looks like a canyon or something. And then along the outside edges. You can hardly see it. I think it's because I went fast and the saffron light was still wet, but that's okay. It looks good. After it dries, I might add more saffron dark. Okay, so for the crumb cake, this is crumb cake light. So to do this, wherever Stampin' Up! Told me it's dark, those are the only areas I'm going to put crumb cake light. And I'm not even going to blend it. Can you believe that? I could take the color lifter and make it softer, but I think it looks just fine like this. That's it. So when you look at it from a distance, it's very pretty. So let me try just a little bit more with the saffron dark. Yeah, you still can't see it very much. Maybe my marker is running out. Nope, that's fine. That's okay, it looks good. So, just a little bit of decoration on the front and we are done. So let's start with the brushed brass butterflies. So I'm going to do one big one. How about there? And a little one there. They're hanging out together. They're talking butterfly talk. And then let's do some pearls. I was going to put rhinestones on, but because this is kind of a card focusing on like the white tones, I like how the pearls look. So I'm going to put 5 of them on. They say keep them in odd numbers, so 5 it shall be. Okay, last one. I don't know. Right there. So, there it is. So this is project number 4 out of 5 of the Gotta Have It boxes. I have one more to go. It's going to be another fun fold. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you have a great weekend. Bye.